Alright, we're going to continue with our instructional play session for Origins: How We Became Human. I'm going to try really hard to make everything that can happen in the game happen during this play session. It might not, though. I keep getting involved with the game and forgetting that it's supposed to be primarily for instructional purposes. And so that could be problematic. Like, I could have put someone into slavery last session. I didn't do it because I didn't want to. So I'll try to get someone into slavery and try and have sieges happen and maybe some starvation. I don't know. I might just end up playing the game, though, because it's more fun. Alright, so here's a move I can do that would demonstrate two separate things. And it's maybe not a horrible move for Red to do. So Red... it's his population action time. He's going to migrate. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Now, he is attacking Blue right there. Now, what's going to happen is, since Red is higher on the metallurgy infrastructure track, Blue is gone. Okay, so that's going to go into Blue's innovation. Now, it's going to be resolve sieges. Red is not... It's going to be a tie, I believe, yep, because green has 2, because its footprint is 2, and red has 2 because it has 1 cube plus 1 for being higher on the metallurgy track. Alright, so nothing happens, just stays there. Now it's starvation. Now red is going to starve to death because its footprint is only 1, and there are 2 cubes in this hex. So red starves. That means red is gone off of the map. So red is going to be enslaved. Now, although it was starved out by green, red isn't necessarily enslaved by green. Red can choose who its master is. Now, it's going to be in red's best interest to choose either green or blue because those are both at footprint 2. See, green seems more likely to go into chaos sooner. So it may choose, I think it is going to choose green and go right up here, put green on top. Green is now enslaved red, even though it didn't really want to. Alright, it's green's turn again. Green is going to move into the golden age. There's really no reason not to. Green is in danger of going into chaos right now. And if green is not in the golden age, that would not be good. If it is in the golden age when it goes into chaos, that's great because it gets into era 3. It's good to get into era 3 as soon as possible once you're in era 2. And green can do it because it had that disease, which made its immunology go up 1, and it has its energy up 1. So it can just, as an innovation action, go into the golden age. And green did not go into chaos. Now green has a couple of choices. One thing green could do if it wanted to get into era 3 super fast is it could start doing a population increase and really clear off all these cubes from its population track. Maybe not so bad an idea considering how its innovation is doing. Its innovation is already full, so once it loses the population due to the Dark Age, it's all going to come back to the population track anyway. Might risk double chaos, but in this case it might be better to do. Normally I would want to get a few cards first. Green doesn't have any. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Try the population increase and see what happens. I want to make a quick note because this is something I've gotten wrong in the past. The number of population actions you can do is the number you have clear at the beginning of the population phase, not as time goes on. So during population actions you can clear off more cubes. That doesn't give you more actions. So green had 3 showing at the beginning of the phase, so that's how many population actions he was able to do, or she was able to do. Did 3 population increases, was kind of wicked in her choices. She placed her cubes here and here, as well as here, but these are the 2 wicked ones. The reason why is green has a higher footprint than white and black, so she's not going to starve by going there. She can survive in a place with 2 cubes, in a hex with 2 cubes. Black and white can't, however, so they're going to either have to move their cubes or lose a cube on their turn. In terms of blue, blue isn't going to starve out, but blue also can't put any more cubes on around blue's metropolis here. White here will starve out on white's turn. Lucky for Black, Black was able to domesticate, which brought its footprint back up to 2, or up to 2, thus not having to worry about starving out. Got a disease, gave the disease to White, which was painful for White. White had quite a lot open on its innovation track. Up to there was going to be able to have 3 innovation actions soon. No longer is the case. Sad for White. And I had a feeling this would happen. Had to make a stability roll for White. Got a 1, which meant White went into chaos. Not a beneficial thing for White. White's still in era 1. He's not going to be able to, he's in no sort of golden age. He's going to lose half of his map units rounded down. So it only has to lose 1. And so it'd probably be better to take one of these two. I guess this one right here. Fortunately for White, however, White is going to skip the other phases of his turn, so he's not going to have to worry about starvation in that hex yonder. And Green's being kind of nice, but also acting in its best interest, is going to offer White a trade in footprint. So White is going to accept and gets to bring his footprint up, and then Green gets to get an Elder. Alright, Blue just drew this public card and it went up for auction. Blue is going to bid 1. Reason being is if on a tie the only person who beats Blue in a tie is N, and N has no Elders. H is last place in terms of that and would be the main competitor because H also scores victory points based on these swords. So regardless of what other people might bid, Blue is going to take it for 1. Makes it a lot harder for Blue to go into chaos, but that's worth 2 victory points for Blue at the end of the game. Forgot to note, Blue does have to get an Elder Loss. It's going to choose the White Guest Worker. It's generally better to lose a Guest Worker, although it does deprive the other player of something. When they get it back, it stuffs up their innovation. So Blue, on its turn, which was a while ago, was able to acculturate a Guest Worker from Green. That took Green out of the running of this next auction. Blue is going to have to bid 2, however, in order to get it. And it wants to get it for a couple of reasons. One, it has eye icons, which are good for Blue. 2, that's going to raise Blue's potential hand size, which is nice. You can be more strategic if you can hold more cards. 3, it has this nice naturalist action, which is something you lose, which is an innovation action you lose when you get into era 2 or beyond. That's the action that allows you to domesticate animals and plants. So the only way you can domesticate those is with certain cards, so you leave it up to luck whether or not you can do that. So that's very nice for a card for Blue to get. However, Blue can't rely on the tie because White has a cube now, and White would win the tie. So Blue's going to have to bid 2 in order to get it, because that's a nice card for everyone. White would definitely bid 1 to get it, as would Red, and both of those are ahead of Blue in the auction order. And with a roll of a 2, Green finally managed to go into chaos. That is going to allow Green to get into era 3. People are just getting into era 2 right now. Red is still in era 1, as is White, and Green's already in era 3. A little bit different of balance of a game than normal. Since Green had its innovation all stuffed up, however, half the units it takes off the map are just going to go back on the population track, which is nice for Green because that's going to make it less likely for Green to go into chaos right away. So some time has passed. I kind of got engrossed in playing, but Black is about to do something kind of cool. He's in era 3 now, along with Green. Green's also in era 3, Green and Black. We still have a couple players in era 1, and Blue is in era 2, but Black is in era 3. Doing a population action, can do this action called Urbanize, and can just go and make a city. Doesn't have to do any special roll or anything, just gets to make a metropolis. Pretty nice to be able to do that. Downside is you don't get any infrastructure track advances, and since for some reason in this game we've gotten to era 3 pretty quick, relatively quick compared to my experience, so not as far along in the infrastructure as you might want to be. For example, Black, in order to go in the Golden Age, now needs 2 energy and 3 footprint. I guess that's only 1 step away from where Black is, so that's not too bad. But Alright, Blue is now besieging this green metropolis. Blue, while you weren't looking, raised its metallurgy up to 2, which is higher than anyone. More importantly, it's higher than green. Doesn't matter how much higher it is, it gives it a +1. So it's got a 1, 2, 3. Green has 2 because its footprint is 2. Blue is going to take this Metropolis. Alright, red is about to ransack this particular card here. Normally red would not be able to ransack that card. However, since this eyeball is showing in red's discard pile, red can go ahead and pluck it up like so. And gets this rather nice card. Can't play the left-hand side right now because footprint's low, and it probably will be for a while. But if ever red needs these double fecundity decreases, the prostitution and the humor, red can do that. I just want to point out before I continue the trouble blue is having right now. Blue is the clear point winner. If blue can get the game to end, which means go here and then here, right? Blue is going to win because blue has the most points. Blue almost has the infrastructure blue needs to get into the golden age. The only problem blue is having is going into chaos. It's been really hard for blue to leave this golden age in the second era because of its administrative cards, which offer so many points. You know, eventually blue will be able to go into chaos by getting rid of all these cubes, but it's going to suppress its cards, and then we'll probably go into double chaos. That's likely to happen. Alright, we just changed to a desert climate. Everyone who's on a yellow space is going to die because no one has wells yet, which is the second energy stage. That's going to affect blue, our clear front runner in this game, quite a bit. It's going to lose 2 metropolises, take it out of Africa. White is going to lose this guy. Let's see who else. It's okay up there. People kind of weren't thinking too much about climate change. We didn't have a lot of it in this game so far, but until it started hitting again. So I think that's it. Rough situation for red just occurred. Red's trying to go into chaos, as is white right now. This card came up. Green wouldn't mind having it. However, green has nothing to bid. Blue would not mind having it, but blue has nothing to bid. Black actually wouldn't mind having it either, even though it doesn't score points at this point in the game. Black's not really trying to go into chaos anymore. Black would actually enjoy having the administration so black can expand without having to worry so much about going into chaos. Black right now is kind of holed up in Europe. However, since no one who wants it can bid, that leaves it to white and red, neither of which want it, which means red has to take it as the P player. That's going to make it harder for red to go into chaos, obviously, and red also is going to lose an elder. That's rough. Alright, after trying for, I think, 5 turns, blue finally managed to go into chaos. Suppressed all its cards. It's going to, I couldn't see why blue would not win this game. It's already has the 2 metallurgy. It just needs to bump its energy up to 2. Can do that via, I guess by resource extraction would be an easy way if it rolls a 5 or a 6 on a resource extraction attempt, or just by getting a card that ups its energy. Probably resource extraction. Blue has a pretty commanding hold on the map with its higher metallurgy than everyone else. It can just bop them. And no one was able to replicate that metallurgy increase. I'm not sure why. Oh, I think it got it through domestication. Yeah. Via luck and administration and a little bit of clever card play, blue was able to avoid going into a double dip chaos, so to speak. Blue played this card, which allowed it to turn over this administration card, which really helps it on the chaos roll, the stability roll. Also knocked out one of its elders. Since the innovation track is full, the elder went down to the population track, giving blue only a 1 in 6 chance, despite all these uncovered spaces, to go into chaos. Blue rolled a 3, and so managed to pass this turn. Alright, Thera just erupted right here, and that's actually going to cause red to lose 1 unit. Not too catastrophic, but everything in that hex went away as a result of that explosion, that eruption. Alright, here's a rule I could have gotten wrong during this game, because I forgot about it and I just reminded myself of it now when I was reading the rules. So here we have a card that was very attractive to red right now, and red could totally take it. Actually, at the time of this card's play, green's cube should have been down there. So red could have taken it, no competition. However, this is an Era 3 card. Red's still in Era 2, so red can't actually bid on that card. So it's going to go to C. C can't bid on it. C's out of the running. H can get it. And H is the one who's going to get it because it's next on the list. Black, with its strong family values, became the first player of the game to successfully domesticate a natural resource, in this case biofuel, which is very nice because it brought black up to energy infrastructure 2. Rolled a 6, which was great. This plus canceled out the minus on the biofuel, giving black a 1 in 3 chance of success. These requirements are too stringent for black to meet right now. So it was able to get the 5 and 6 range, which worked. Since it's a biofuel, black got to move up 1 on the energy infrastructure track. Great job, black. Green just had an unfortunate series of events. So first, got the bubonic plague, which gave it some fecundity increases, opened up opened it up to chaos, then rolled a 1. That's really rough. Double chaos there. Well, not double chaos. It's been a while since green was in chaos, but has to suppress all these cards. Green's been coming back in terms of cards. Blue has had a hard time getting its energy up in order to take the game. So green's been getting cards in the meantime. Yeah, that's tough for green there, though. Green's gonna lose a bunch of things, and yeah. So just thought I'd catch up on the general board state for those of you following along. Red has clearly got the most elders going on, lots of metropolises. What's important to a lot of people right now, though, is energy. People want to be able to domesticate this biofuel here, especially since black got the one in Europe. So people, there's a race between red and blue and green to get domesticated. Green has the head start. Green's actually still there. Fortunately for green, green's demography isn't looking too good. So red and blue both have a chance to get there and try and take the biofuel before green does. Blue has the metallurgy advantage, so blue can just bop anybody. Alright, so green is neighbors with blue, and green just played this card, Saddle and Stirrups, and used it to play, make a barbarian raid against blue. Now blue has a choice of either losing its elder down to its innovation track, or losing one of its public cards to, for the entire game. It's going to be out. Now, in some situations it may be better to lose the elder. The elders can be more easily regained. Right now, however, the elder is quite useful. I mean, they always are, but they're kind of in this race to domesticate. You need the elder to domesticate. And plus, actually even more importantly, blue has this card right here, which is, what's the word for it? It's, I don't know, it's made so you can't use it. I forget the word. It's on the tip of my brain. I'm not going to think about it anymore. And it's not super useful to blue. It doesn't score points. Other people have higher cultural cards, so it's going to let this one leave the game. And that's the effect of the barbarian attack. The barbarian attack card also leaves the game. And while the others were chasing after energy, black went ahead and played this card here, let black gain an elder, which it then expended in order to domesticate a plant. Domesticated sorghum African rice. Now, because the roll was a 6, that did let black move its footprint up to 3. Black is the only player with a 3 footprint now, which will be rather helpful for black. There's a lot of cards with 3 footprint prerequisites, so watch out. And it took a lot of card play and a lot of slaughter, but blue finally managed to get the biofuel and its energy up to 2. Not a moment too soon. Blue, I believe, probably has the lead in cards, though green might have it. Black and white, however, have both done quite well in terms of the infrastructure track. White moved up to footprint 3. Black especially has done well. You know, great in immunology, great in metallurgy, which we saw blue use to good advantage, and a wonderful footprint, a footprint of 4. That is short fallow farming. So blue should be able to tie up the game pretty quick. I mean, by tie it up, I don't mean tie like as in get the same score as someone else, but finish the game pretty quick here. So I could be coming back to you soon. Blue needs to go to the Golden Age and then manage to go into Chaos again, which will be difficult as usual when you have an administration card there. Alright, so Black especially, and the other players, when they can, have been trying to stuff up Blue's innovation so that residual cubes will go into the population track, making it harder for Blue to go into that final Chaos, which will end the game in the basic game. This, the expansion game goes to here, but the basic game ends here, and that's what we're doing. So Blue has this administration card of +3 to its roll, so that means I think it needs to roll a 1. Yep, it needs to roll a 1 in order to win the game right now. And if it doesn't, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a case, especially since it's weaker than Black now, it's gonna be a case where it's going to have to be fighting against the tide to kind of walk upstream, to mix metaphors a little bit. 6, that is not going to make it go into Chaos, unfortunately for Blue. So Blue's done a couple of things. Expanded in the New World, which is a pretty good move for Blue. The other players who've kind of arrayed against Blue, because Blue seems like Blue is going to win, don't have too clear of access to the New World yet. Along with doing that, Blue went ahead and enslaved Green, which is doesn't seem to me like such a bad move at this point in the game. Blue isn't going to be making a lot of infrastructure advances. Kind of takes Green out of Blue's way for the most part. Although Green can stuff up Blue's city areas. I don't know. Alright, we won another round. Players have not been able to get rid of too many of Blue's cubes, mainly because the cubes in the old world have all been cities. Black is the main one in a position to besiege a city, but could really only get one besieged in a turn. So here's what Blue's demography is looking like now at the start of Blue's turn. There's been a lot of trading going on between the people who aren't Blue. However, as they try to kind of get some advantage, they maybe should have done that sooner because it might be too late right now. So if Blue rolls a 3 or better now, right, because 3 plus 3 equals 6, and 6 is less than 7, Blue is going to end the game, and then I'll count up the cards. And it's a 4. We're going to go another round. White played a Barbarian Raid, which forced Blue to either choose between some points, which could cost Blue the game. We still don't know what Green has, or else lose an Elder, making the game take longer. Blue made this choice. I don't know that that's better or worse, but that's the choice Blue made. Here's something fun. So this public card came up. Black drew it, and Blue and Green both won it, and they both can bid 1. Now, on a tie, Blue is going to win in this case because Blue has the A further up the chart. However, Black is going to go ahead and bid 1 on Green's behalf, allowing Green to get it for 2. Right, like so. So Green is going to get the card, which also means Green loses an Elder, which isn't such a bad thing in this case because Blue is going to just be able to take that Elder later on and defend itself from an Elder loss, because if it lost the Green Elder, it wouldn't stuff up its demography anymore. Alright, Blue's turn again. Blue is still trying to go into Chaos, still trying to end the game. However, the scoring doesn't look as certain. Red has gotten quite a few Elders there. Each of those is worth a point for Red. And same with Black. Black has 5 Elders. And they're both building up some hardy piles. Not as large as Green or Blue's, but it's evening out as it's taking Blue roll after roll to try to go into chaos. So it's going to be even harder now. He needs to roll a 1. Yep, needs to roll a 1 in order to go into chaos. Let's see. 3. That is not a 1. Alright, Blue's trying to go into chaos again. Here's what the demography is looking like. Needs a 2 or better. By better, I mean lower. 3 plus 3 is 6. That's not less than 6. Blue is not in chaos. So before going on, I was noticing I was running out of cards. And so I was checking the end conditions of the game. And one thing I noticed that I'm learning all the time, even though I thought I was playing this game properly once upon a time. You also add the totals here to their end score. So Black's, if the game ended right now, Black would add another 9 points, which is huge. I thought it was just their, their victory conditions. I didn't know you added stuff on top of it. So Blue's going to add 8, White 5 right now, Green 3. So on top of the cards they've bid on and the elders that some of them get to score, you also score their tracks. Alright, let's try this die roll once again. And the game is over. I'll count up the score and let you know who won and give my final thoughts, and that will be final. Alright, so the game ended with Black and Blue. Apparently they tied. I spent a little bit of time trying to find out if there's a tiebreaker in this game, and I don't think there is, and I'm okay with that. I like tying myself. I know some people say it's like kissing your sister, but my sister is cute. I learned a few things doing this. First thing I learned is that I am not the best person in the world to be doing instructional videos, and that's not really something new. That's not totally new information to me. For example, when I was learning to play Imperial 2030, I spent my first game or two, I think, going counterclockwise on the rondel rather than clockwise, because I just miss these very, I miss a lot of details in the rules. I kind of get the gist of a game and then just play. Dixit, for example, another game, apparently it's supposed to end when you run it through the deck. I always thought you had to get the rabbits to the 30-point marker and then it would end that way. The game seemed simple enough. I didn't need to read the rules. This game is obviously not like that, but still I spent a lot of time reading the rules carefully, but still I'm missing details. So I'm not the best person for this. However, no one else did it, so I had to be the one to do it. If someone else likes to do or has an intention to detail and maybe hasn't done videos before, I have to tell you, it's very easy, and if you have an intention to detail and like to explain games, please feel free to do it, even for this one. I would be happy to take this series down because I think someone else could do a much better job. Other thing I learned, or kind of was reminded of, is how much fun and how much room for exploration there is in this game. I haven't, because it's kind of the curse of the reviewer, I haven't been able to return to it for a while since I reviewed it back in the summer, or the beginning of summer, I think. And I've missed it, So it was nice to have this excuse to play it again. The play session wasn't quite what I would normally like to do because I was more thinking about trying to teach, even though my gut wanted to just kind of play the game, but still, found out new things about the game, and that was enjoyable. So I appreciate the opportunity. I hope this is going to conclude this whole instructional series. I hope it helped clarify the game for some of you. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer, but I might be wrong. But, so that's the chance you take. But I appreciate you making it this far. Good job.